Okay, so spoiler warning. If you have not seen the movie and you want to go see the movie, this video ain't for you. So get out of here. This is your warning. Get on out of here. That's my common courtesy for those of you who are, I'm sure a lot of you want to go see this. Now, I feel like I've seen this movie already, judging by the trailer that I watched like months before, because this movie does not really give you anything different other than that. There's very few differences from what they've shown in the trailer. And like, I mean, if you really enjoy movies and you're like me, who's like on the scale on the meter of let's say like you're like a movie buff like me, you may be able to put the pieces together on what's gonna happen next. Like, it's very predictable, and with just by the movie being so predictable, it was like an underwhelming experience for me. And the jumps, like, there were no good jump scares or anything like that. And this movie is intending to to scare you and to get you sort of like afraid of this woman, of this girl. And I mean, and I gotta say, Jazz Sinclair did a great job in her first big screen debut, and her first, I guess, her first acting job debuted, I think. The acting isn't bad. I mean, like, the acting is one of the more solid, well, it's probably the only solid part of the movie. Everybody did their jobs well, but I feel like Morris Chestnut has been typecasted, like, this time around, since we know he's played as a character similar to this, like in what is it, The Perfect Guy? I didn't see The Perfect Guy, but from what they've shown in the trailers, I feel like I've seen that movie already, and I didn't see that movie, but I feel like I feel like just by the trailer, I've seen that movie, and that Morris Chestnut is the good guy, and and stuff whatnot, and he's basically almost like playing the same character in this one, in my opinion. And but I mean, like, seriously, there were moments like in the movie, like when she called John, Morris Chestnut's character, like Anna called John, and and he arrived at the hospital, and he's telling them, like, yeah, I'm here to see Anna Walsh, or this Anna this Anna that, and then the woman said, there's no one here by that name, and a lot of people in the audience was gasping. I'm like, right before she said that, I whispered to Lindsay, I said, watch. She ain't gonna be there. Just watch. And I'm like, why is everybody gasping? Everybody's like, oh, she's not there. Oh my God. I'm like, how did they not see that coming? I mean, I don't expect everybody to, like, to predict that, but a large majority of people had to have seen that coming. I mean, if you gravitate towards these kind of movies, you had to have seen that coming. It's so cliche. I mean, this movie is just a giant cliche. I mean, like, to its own genre. And, I mean, not a single part of the movie shocked me. Like, what would have shocked me is if she didn't kill her boyfriend. Now, when they did the build-up to where John discovers, like, her boyfriend's, corpse in the basement, and when, Laura discovers the dead cat in the baby crib, in the baby's crib, I'm like, watch. She's gonna discover that there's a dead cat in the baby's crib and the dead body in the basement at the same time. And guess what happens? Need I say more? And the only thing that they didn't show was the cat. I mean, like, when they showed in the trailer, like, where she goes into the baby's crib and she moves the blanket and she's like, oh my God! But I mean, they did a good job making you think, like, did she kill a baby? Like, what the hell? But when they kept showing that cat, I'm like, I whispered to Lindsay once again, like, that cat's gonna be dead in the baby's crib, and that's what happened. Almost, it's very, very, very predictable, and I like it. I wasn't angry that with this movie being underwhelming, but I actually was laughing, like along, like, as I was watching this whole movie. And believe it or not, the audience in the theater were laughing too. Like when shit was getting real, um, man. I mean, like everybody was giggling and laughing. You heard people mumbling and just laughing, like their asses off. And and also like when John, is sneaking into the cabin to get the baby out of there, and then her and Anna, him and Anna are fighting, and then he slams her up against where the cupboard where all the shotguns are, and I'm thinking, okay, good idea. Now grab at least one of those shotguns and get out of there. And he doesn't grab one, and you leave him there. You didn't even at least grab the shells to put in the shotgun. You didn't at least grab those to make sure she couldn't get up and grab and load the gun. And guess what happens? She stops them with the loaded gun, and they almost got killed because of that. Like, what the hell? I mean, like, John is such an idiot for that one. And then it ends where it makes the audience decide what happens with John and Laura. Like, do they get put away? Does the child get taken from them? And the body, and Anna's dead body is still laying outside in the driveway or whatever. And then we hear the sirens coming, and then John and Laura are looking at each other like, what now? And then John looks back at her like, we'll be okay. And then credits start rolling right after that. Some people were like laughing, and some people were disappointed. I'm like, really? It had no plot twist, no nothing, nada, not a zilch. No, not even when John had his I guess his detective buddy or whatever, like doing some digging in the background check on Anna. That wasn't shocking either. It wasn't. I mean, the acting was great. Everyone did their part well, but the movie itself was just a giant cliche. And a lot of people are saying it ripped off Fatal Attractions. Well, I guess it did. I never watched Fatal Attractions, but and I didn't even know this was a remake until afterwards. I'm like, oh, this is a remake of another movie? Okay. And it kind of reminded me of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, just a little bit. Just a little bit. And if, well, I'm just going to say this gets 2.5 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2.5. Alright, so I would strongly suggest you don't see this movie. If you have seen the movie, then yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I mean, I'm sorry to hear about that. But if you want a good thriller and a good crazy bitch movie, I'd say get on Netflix, watch Basic Instinct, watch Rent the Orphan. That has a very damn good plot twist in that movie too. And what else? And go to the movies and see Don't Breathe. That is a much better suspenseful thriller than this garbage. Man, oh man. Like, you ever watch a movie where you think it's terrible, but you're still being entertained by how bad it is? It's like that's what this movie was like for me. Like, where I didn't like it, I was underwhelmed, but I wasn't angry, like watching it. I mean, I know I did a reaction video to the trailer, and then sometime afterwards, I'm like, I feel like I've seen this movie already. So that's how I felt. So I guess with the trailer alone, the trailer did, mess up, did make it, underwhelming. But even if you didn't see the trailer, and you're good at, figuring out movies, it's easy to put the pieces together really quickly. And I did that really quickly on some parts, like when they, when they discovered a dead body in the basement and the dead cat in the baby's crib. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend you see this movie unless you're a huge fan of Morris Chestnut and Regina Hall, and you just want to see them at the best in their acting ability. Then maybe you'll see it. I think you'll enjoy this movie, but if you're looking for just a good movie where you're going to be shocked and scared and all that, I wouldn't recommend this. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. But, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this review, make sure you thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe. Ow. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. See, the movie fucking jinxed me. But anyway, feel free to tell me if you did like the movie. If you don't agree with me, I don't know. I mean, tell me why you like the movie. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.